What's up, everyone? Justin here, back with a new episode of The List where I'm gonna talk about fucking insane. He's had a meltdown, he's gone out of his fucking mind, tweeting on his phone, probably doing this all day yesterday and then early evening. Seriously, he went nuts. He had a meltdown. Who am I talking about? Tony Khan, the owner, the fucking head of creative, the booker for AEW. What the fuck are you doing, man? It's embarrassing for you should be embarrassed and ashamed of how you act on Twitter X. And yeah, it's embarrassing. It's a bad fucking look for your company. A lot of fans that didn't like AEW or still watch it, but maybe AEW was not their favorite company. Well, now you're absolutely drawing fans away from your product. It's not helping AEW. It's not helping your talent. It's not helping your company. It's not helping you. It's making you look like a fool and a dumbass and immature, petty, and just stupid. A stupid person. That's how you act on Twitter, like an insane, stupid person. I get you can be passionate about your company and stuff like that, but why the fuck are you doing this? Why are you constantly having meltdowns and acting stupid and not like a fucking boss like you should be? You should act like a boss. Try to. Not try to look like a fucking moron, idiot at your press scrums and post shows where you constantly have to make yourself sit at the table and talk because your ego and you want attention for yourself. For AEW, you really have to talk about every fucking pay-per-view. After every pay-per-view, you have to be on the post shows in the media scrums. No, you don't. It's embarrassing how you sitting there smiling or making goofy faces. There's a ton of gifs of you out there going like this, looking like absolutely dumbfounded, like you don't know where the fuck you are and what you're doing. And it's amazing you can even fucking run a wrestling company. It's amazing. The only reason you got a company because of your daddy's money. What the fuck did Tony Khan ever do? Now, I'm roasting Tony Khan because he fucking deserves it for how he acts on social media. Now, I can guarantee you if I was in Tony Khan's shoes and owned a company, I would not fucking be responding to fans or criticism in responding to tweets from USA Network, from fans, from getting attacked by other people. I wouldn't respond to them. I would just promote my fucking company. But in his head, in Tony Khan's head, he thinks he's smarter than he is. He thinks he has a right to defend himself, I guess, on social media. And he thinks it's okay to do what he does on social media. He probably thinks nothing's wrong with it. That he has every right to defend himself because he's constantly attacked. And he's upset. He's saying, where's the rage? For Jinder getting a title shot. That's what he's upset about. That's what he's focused on, is Jinder in another company that you will never be bigger as and never be number one over. That's the truth. You will never be bigger and you will never be looked at as a number one wrestling company. Never. Now, when you first started, 2019, you could say AEW had a leg up and was a little ahead of WWE at the time because they were a new, fresh company. But guess what? Since Triple H took over head of creative, you're not even close to as good as WWE's product, in my opinion. You got great talent. Yes, this whole video might be me ripping Tony Khan a new asshole and roasting him because he deserves it. But I'm glad AEW's around for all these other wrestlers that are really good, can make a living, get great paydays, and be on national TV, be on pay-per-views, and get more well-known. I'm talking a lot of great talents that are in AEW. A lot of time, Tony Khan doesn't know what the fuck to do with them and how to book them. But he has a lot of great talents. A lot of talents he absolutely has dropped the ball with, and they are totally misused and underutilized. I'm talking about talents like Miro. He's been underutilized. Yeah, he probably makes a ton of money, good for him. But he has not been booked good in AEW. I think he's off TV for like well over a year for some reason. Tony Khan leaves people off TV that are great, like Miro in the past. Keith Lee, he's left off TV a lot. Aleister Black, Malachi Black, he has left him off TV a lot and not barely used him. Seems like to me he's barely ever booked and never put in a main event spot, and Malachi Black is fucking great. I can guarantee you if he went back to WWE, he'd be booked better. I don't know. To me, when I watch AEW, I never see Malachi Black wrestle hardly or be pushed as a main event guy. And that's fucking sad, and that's Tony Khan's fault. And you could say, I'm just a WWE mark. Why am I bashing Tony Khan? Why am I making a video about his social media insanity? Why am I doing this? I'm going to bash him no matter what. I'm biased. I'm a WWE mark. And it's true. But I also like AEW. And I like other wrestling companies. I love pro wrestling. I support a ton of other companies. I love Stardom. I love MLW. I love NXT, WWE. Impact is good. TNA. Again, I support a ton of talents in AEW. They're just not booked well, a lot of them. But I'm talking about the talents I love in AEW. I'm glad AEW's around because we get to see talents like Timeless Tony Storm, Swerve, a lot of the women, Jamie Hayter whenever she comes back, love her. Hikaru Shida, I love her as a talent. Mariah May, I'm glad she's getting a big opportunity in AEW. Chris Statlander, really good, fan of her. Willow Nightingale, I'm a fan of her. Sky Blue, I'm a fan of her. Julia Hart, I'm a fan of her. But I don't know, AEW, Tony Khan, with your social media insanity, you're not helping your company at all. You're drawing fans off. Like, what the fuck are you doing? When I saw all your tweets talking about Jinder, and why the fuck you worried about Jinder and if he's getting a title shot? That's not your fucking concern. That's not your business. And another company's giving a heel. Jinder's a heel. He's like an old school 80s heel. Taking on Seth freaking Rollins for the world title. I don't got a problem with that. Seth Rollins needs more heels to take on. And Jinder's an old school heel that can get good fucking heat still. He can get good heat. So I don't care that Jinder's off TV for a year. He wasn't wrestling, I guess, for over a year. According to Tony Khan, he hasn't won a match in a year. But I don't give a crap. I don't follow if wrestlers have been off TV a whole year and haven't won. I know he's on TV as a manager. But then he's off TV again. But again, I don't got a problem with how they're booking Jinder. To me, he's an old school heel that can get a ton of heat from the fans. And that was smart. That was smart for WWE to book Jinder against Seth. They do have a history in NXT. The first ever NXT World Title match in the finals of the tournament was Jinder and Seth. So they do have a long history. And I, again, don't have a problem at all with Jinder being booked in a world title match. I don't got a problem with it. But Tony Khan does. So this story's going on and on and on. There's a lot to it. A lot of tweets and responses to Tony Khan to get to. And I'm going to talk about it on the list. So this morning, or last night, anyways, a lot of people chimed in. Jinder got involved, and this is funny. I read Jinder hasn't tweeted in 2 years, except for last night when he tweeted. That's pretty funny. Tony Khan brought Jinder back to Twitter to tweet something. Corey Graves tweeted about it. Said Jinder rules. Jinder Mahal was fucking trending, Tony Khan. Congratulations, Tony, you fucking idiot moron. You talked about another company's talent. You got them to trend, and now more fans are probably going to watch Jinder and Seth because you talked about it on your Twitter account. I don't know how many followers Tony Khan has, but it's probably a good amount. Why talk about another talent and another company getting a world title shot? Why? You're just drawing more fans to watch Raw. That's how I see it. Why put over another company and their talent? USA Network got involved. Tony Khan didn't like that. He tweeted USA Network. Tried to put them down about Jinder. Rhea Ripley got involved. I can't find what Rhea did or said. So, Rhea Ripley liked a tweet that expressed approval for another tweet acknowledging widespread support for Jinder on social media following Tony Khan's post, where then what started trending, don't hinder Jinder. So Rhea Ripley liked a tweet supporting Jinder. That's cool. She's in the same damn company with the guy, in the same locker room, backstage at Raw. They probably are really friendly. I don't know if they're friends, but all the talent backstage at Raw are probably goddamn friendly to each other, at least. Or if not, really good friends. And probably feel like a family and connected with each other. So, Rhea Ripley, that's cool that she's supporting Jinder. She should. She's in the same damn company. And Tony Khan, why does he constantly talk about WWE and trying to compare his company with WWE and bringing up their talents? Why? Because in his fucking head, again, he believes he's in a real war in competition with WWE. No, you fucking are not. This is not the 90s, late 90s. You're not WCW, Tony Khan, where you were going head-to-head with Raw. And WCW actually had some fucking balls, and Eric Bischoff had giant balls. As The Miz says, I have massive balls. Well, Eric Bischoff had fucking massive balls for real, Tony Khan, unlike you. You don't have any massive balls. You probably have tiny little pea balls. Or little corn balls. The size of corn kernels. Anyways, Eric Bischoff had fucking balls. He went head to head with Raw and WWE and took the fight to them. And defeated them for almost 2 years in the ratings. A lot of fans, I don't know how they feel about Bischoff, but the guy brought it to Vince and kicked WWF's fucking ass with a lot of good ideas. And the NWO and the Cruiserweight division, the Nitro Girls. He did a lot of good shit when he was running WCW. Tony Khan, you don't got the balls to go head to head with Raw. If you did, why haven't you yet? Yeah, you went. Well, you didn't even go head-to-head with NXT. They wanted to go head-to-head with you, and yeah, you won that war. AEW defeated NXT. Congratulations. So what? At the time, both of you were only getting like a million views a week. Like over a million rating a week. NXT and AEW together was only like 800,000 every week or less, or 1 million some weeks, 900,000 down to 700, 800, whatever. But let's get into it. What Tony Khan said that set him off, and where he had a fucking meltdown, epic meltdown. Because he was upset. Even Eric Bischoff had to tweet, and he got involved with Tony Khan's tweets. Tony Khan was so upset he had a little meltdown. He had a fucking meltdown like a Karen. Maybe you should start being called Tony Karen Khan on Twitter now. Because the guy's constantly having meltdowns. To me, something's fucking wrong with him. I don't know what, if he has ADHD or something, or Asperger's or some shit, but something's wrong with him. How he acts. Maybe he's on Ritalin. I don't fucking know. But, yeah, he was so angry that Jinder's getting a title shot. He says a double standard. A double standard. And then he brings Hook up. Hook was 28-1. Career record, which, by the way, I don't like the fucking records AEW does. I think it's stupid. It's stupid. Have every wrestler have a win-loss record. To me, it's stupid. Who gives a fuck? The business of matches is predetermined. We don't need records. This is not real sports. To me, it's sports entertainment. Pro wrestling. It's not fucking baseball. It's not NFL football. It's not the NBA. It's not the NHL. You don't need to keep records because they mean nothing. Some of your wrestlers could be undefeated and you do nothing with them. You don't give them title shots. It doesn't matter to me, the win-loss record. Get rid of it. But he brings up Hook is 28-1. And he, in a career winning streak, calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Jinder has literally lost every single match he's in for the past year. Immediately gets a title shot. Where is the rage? And then he says AEW Dynamite tomorrow on TBS. And that tweet got 7.4 million views. But again, it'll probably get people to watch Raw and see Jinder and Seth. It's not going to help AEW Dynamite's ratings tonight. They're not going to jump to over 1.5 million. They're not going to go to 2 million. No way. So it's not going to work, Tony Khan, to get you higher ratings. You act like such a fucking moron on social media. It could hurt you getting a new TV deal, you idiot. Speaking out of your ass could get you to lose your TV deal with TBS and TNT. Then what are you going to do with all your daddy's money? You're going to just pay another network to go on TV every week? It's been speculated, rumored that you already pay. I don't know if that's true, but I find it hard to believe that right now he's paying TNT and TBS. That he's paying them for all three of his shows to be put on. Maybe for one of them. Maybe for Collision he's paying. But for all three, I doubt it. But in the past, not in the past, in the future, you don't want to do that. You don't want to pay to get your TV on. You want to be paid by a fucking network for your TV rights. But again, it's been speculated now he's been paying the network to be put on. I don't know if that's true. I find it really hard to believe. But that's what Vince Russo thinks, that he's definitely paying the network to be put on. I don't know if that's true. Again, I doubt it. If that is true, you're the dumbest businessman of all time, Tony Khan. If you're not getting any fucking income back into your company from a TV network, if you're getting zero income, you're a moron. And you're going to just keep losing money over and over and over. And your only income will be ticket sales and merchandise and pay-per-views. That's not enough to survive. Sadly, WCW, I don't think, was getting paid from Turner Networks. I don't think they're paying them because Ted Turner owned the damn networks. So why would he pay WCW to be on his own network? I don't think he was. He was just paying to keep, I believe, for years, Ted Turner is paying just to keep WCW alive because he loved pro wrestling so much, and it definitely saved his network, TBS, in the 80s. So, yeah, he was outraged, and he claims there was online, where's the rage? Where is the rage, he said. What the fuck is he talking about? I didn't see any rage when Hook got a title shot. I didn't see anybody raging and being upset on Twitter. I was on Twitter at the time. Nobody was outraged that Hook got a title shot. No, nobody's outraged about that. And I don't believe any fans are outraged Jinder's getting a title shot. Why should they be? If you don't like it, don't watch Monday Night Raw Monday. But, good God. And then Jinder, now he deleted the tweet, I believe, but he did say, who the fuck is Hook? That was pretty funny. And what's happened to Hook? I barely see him on AEW TV yet. I don't know. Is he on Collision? I don't know, because I stopped watching Collision. I will say, once CM Punk left, my fandom for AEW went way down. I'll still watch and support the talents I like, but it's not the same. With CM Punk gone, to me, that fucking hurt AEW. It hurt my motivation to watch them every week. And Tony Khan acting like an idiot constantly on Twitter, that might sometimes, I might not watch every week. I might skip a lot of Dynamites if I don't feel like watching. So, yeah. There's a good response. So, some fans did have good responses to Tony Khan. Fan says a double standard. You called out Vince. This is under Tony Khan's tweets. He's probably gotten thousands of replies. I didn't bother replying to the guy. I just put out my own tweet about my thoughts on it. I'm not gonna fucking add him and tell him off. I think I have in the past though. But yeah, I'm not a toxic fan. Yes, I prefer WWE. I will always admit that. I prefer them over AEW first. But I'm not gonna not support AEW. But yeah, this fan says you called out Vince's sex past when he was removed from any creative control in day-to-day work. You protect a sex past. I don't know if that's true. I have no clue. I can't accuse Jericho until the guy is until AEW's like sued by some woman for what Jericho did to them. Then I'll accuse him. But I can't accuse him because I wasn't there. But a lot of people on Twitter have already accused Jericho and Tony Khan writing up NDAs for talents that probably have behaved badly. And I did read that Tony Khan just started AEW and that Kylie Ray came to Tony Khan. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I read. Could be a rumor, could be made up. Maybe someone that Nick Hausman maybe just hates fucking Jericho. I don't know. He wants to ruin his career. Jericho has already ruined his career. He's done that himself. So nobody has to do that for him. He's already tarnished and ruined his fucking career in like 2019 to me. 2019, 2020, he already ruined his career because he can't go in the ring anymore. He's horrible in the ring. And Jericho, to me, is the worst AEW World Champion of all time. To me. And his group, the Jericho Appreciation Society, that shit went on way too fucking long. Some like to complain about the Bloodline storyline. No. Jericho Appreciation was worse than the Bloodline. It just went on way too long and got nobody over but Jericho. Didn't help Sammy out. Not to me. Didn't help Sammy out. It was just for Jericho's ego. To stroke his ego. That's my opinion. That's why he started that group. So, yeah, this person says that Tony Khan, it got a lot of likes, whoever they are. They're called the A&W Freakazoid Nightmare on Twitter X. They got 3,000 likes. Anyways, they said, you protect a sex pest with an NDA because you need him to try to get your company off the ground. And that was a rumor. That's what I read. That Jericho was, I don't know if he did it, but read up about it. Kylie Ray felt threatened and probably violated and put in a bad situation. And I don't know if Jericho came on to her or what. I don't know if he tried to make a move on her, forced her to do anything. I don't fucking know. But it upset Kylie Ray. She went straight to Tony Khan and told him he didn't know what the fuck to do. He panicked like the little bitch that he is. He panicked because he had a new company and he thought Jericho's my top guy. I need him. So I'll give you your release. And Kylie Ray got released, which at the time I thought that's fucking weird because she just got hired. And she could have been pushed as a top woman star. But she got released. And she's just said in interviews in the past, I believe, that she just, I don't know, that she wasn't in a good place or something, or mentally she wanted to take time away from wrestling, so that was her excuse at the time. But that sounds like definitely it could have happened to me, that she told Tony Khan I'm not comfortable working here with Jericho. The fucker just came on to me. He's a married man, which, what a disgrace he is in his personal life. Your wife was at the fucking January 6th insurrection. If I was married and my wife went to that shit, first off, I would have been embarrassed, ashamed, absolutely could not comprehend who the fuck would want to go to that and support the fucking fat orange bastard. That was the worst president of all time, in my opinion, and the most hateful, and loved to divide people and divide the country, and wants basically only white people to live in America, and every other immigrant that's not white should, his words should be, they're killing the country. In his words, or sucking the blood of the country, or whatever the fuck he said. Well, he's a hateful, racist piece of shit that should never be president again. I don't got a problem with wrestlers being Republican. That's fine. But to help Trump, give him money, Jericho gave him money. I know Undertaker's giving him money too, but at least Undertaker's wife wasn't at the insurrection, or him. So they're not that fucking stupid to be brainwashed to show up at an insurrection rally. God damn, all those people still make me fucking furious that they actually went to the Capitol and did that shit. And they thought it was okay because they were brainwashed that the election was rigged. Get a fucking life, people. Those people that did that and Trump supporters, get a life. Move the fuck on. Get a life. Get something else in your life that you love and you're passionate about. Instead of fucking Trump. It's pathetic. Embarrassing. But, yeah. That fan, a lot of fans, I'm sure, constantly now are probably attacking Tony Khan with NDA comments. But he went absolutely nuts. He went nuts. this is funny. Somebody wrote on Twitter, Tony Khan. Has Tony Khan just turned Jinder Mahal babyface? Seems like he did. I'm not a fan of Jinder. Definitely was not a fan of him as WWE champion. He should never be world champion again. He just should not. But as a talent, without a title, I don't got a problem with Jinder. He's a fine wrestler. He looks the part. He's a good heel. He's a good talker. He looks, he's presented good, like a star. He has a good look, dresses in suits, looks the part. Again, he can talk on the mic pretty damn good. So I got no problem with Jinder back on TV. He did not do bad in the ring with The Rock. He went back and forth kind of with The Rock. He didn't get absolutely destroyed and buried. But yeah. Tony Khan, you're an idiot. I need to find everything he said. Again, why would you target Jinder, another talent for another company, just because you want attention? You're a fucking attention whore. That's what I'm starting to think. Tony Khan, you are absolutely obsessed with acting like a fool during press scrums and on Twitter. You act like a fool. Just for what? Trying to get attention for AEW? Or you think you're really competing with WWE? And there's bad blood, I think, with Tony Khan and WWE, because according to him, when his mother was sick, he claims, I think the story was, he claimed that WWE went behind his back and started talking to Malachi Black, I think, or trying to hire his talents when they were under contract with Tony Khan. So that really upset him. That his panties got all in a bunch. That how dare another company, how dare they contact one of your wrestlers and ask them when their contract's up or if they can get out of it to come back and work for them. A lot of companies do that shit and tamper with talents' contracts. I'm sure it happens all the fucking time in sports, NFL, NBA. I'm sure other teams, the Bucks have done it. My Milwaukee Bucks have done it. And talked to, or got a player from another team, I believe. And then they got punished with draft picks being taken away, I think. Because the Bucks violated some rule where they got another player off a team, I think, and he was still under contract the team wasn't supposed to be talking to another player on another team under contract, something like that. But Tony Khan, why would that upset you so much? You don't think that happens? I'm sure it does. I'm sure talents all the time talk to other talents in WWE and probably ask, hey, could you talk to Triple H and ask him if he would hire me back? I want to come back. I'm sure it happens all the time, but Tony Khan thought that was too far, I guess, because his mother is sick. He was visiting her in the hospital. I hope his mother's better. I don't know if this was a year ago or something, or 2 years ago. But I believe he got so upset that he found out WWE was talking to his talents to try to get them to be released or something, and that upset him. Which I don't know why it would, but here's how it started. The Raw the Raw official USA Network account replied to the former Wrestling Inc. owner, Raji Girl, who was acknowledging the history between Seth and Jinder. I guess Tony Khan didn't like that. So then, and then a question, response including a question about cage match rating, which I don't know what the fuck that is or means. They took a dig at Tony Khan, who often highlights the high cagematch.net scores that AEW pay-per-views and shows and matches receive. I don't take anyone's website or putting over matches like Dave Meltzer and his 5-star matches ratings list, whatever the hell it is. I absolutely don't respect that. And it's a joke. Because anybody that is ranking matches that's never took a bump, I don't listen to you. If you've never taken a bump. And I don't respect you. At least fucking Jinder has busted his ass and taken a ton of bumps. Tony Khan, you never have. And if you ever did take a bump, my phone almost took a bump. I almost dropped it. But, yeah, Tony, if you ever tried to take a bump, your body would probably explode. Or something bad would happen. So he got upset about how ridiculous and immature and just stupid. So then, yeah. He's mad, I guess, about cage match. .net. So then he just went off and I brought up the double standard. How stupid. I already read that. So then Tony Khan was not finished. He responded to USA Network about the cage match rating. And then he goes, a moral victory for USA is one more than their world title challenger Jinder has had in the past 364 days, because it's been literally a full year since he won a match. You really put AEW in our place, getting Jinder in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often. Well, how stupid, Tony Khan. You just put over their world title match on Raw. And maybe you should do it more often, Tony Khan, and book Miro on TV more and Malachi Black on TV more. And push them. Because the only male talents you push right now is Swerve, Hangman, and Jay White. Everyone else, and Samoa Joe. Everyone else, you're not pushing hardly anybody else. Keith Lee, nowhere to be found, hardly. A lot of other talents are nowhere to be found. Especially a lot of the women. I believe Penelope Ford, I think she's still under contract. Kip Sabian's there, her husband. I think he's still there, under contract. Why the fuck aren't you booking Penelope Ford to wrestle? Idiot. So then Jinder reacted. But again, I think he deleted the tweet where he said, who the fuck is Hook? So then, goes on and on. goes back again. He has bad blood with Triple H and WWE. He thinks they tampered with talking to his talents when they shouldn't have. Well, there's no fucking rules in wrestling that you can't talk to other talents. Under contract, there's no rule that you can't do that. And if you're accusing them of doing it, sue them, I guess. I don't know, to prove it, that they were doing it. But, yeah, it goes back last year in October. He called Triple H and Shawn Michaels bald assholes, which was uncalled for and stupid. You could say Triple H started this whole feud, this whole rivalry, or the whole back and forth between AEW fans, WWE fans, the whole back and forth of toxic fans attacking each other over which companies are better. I don't do that shit with other fans, and I will admit, and I will tweet, and I'll admit, and I have in the past, I like WWE more, but I still watch and support AEW. I just wish that a guy that was a real fucking boss, and not a child and immature as hell, and getting his feelings hurt and going straight to his phone to tweet about it. And to tweet about other companies' talents getting world title shots, it's absolutely embarrassing, fucking ridiculous. You shouldn't have never done it. Immature fucking idiot. So then he got into it with Eric Bischoff. This was odd. Tony Khan and Eric Bischoff had back and forth tweets at each other. This is hilarious. And I agree with this. Tony Khan is a clown. Not to me, he's not a real boss. He's a fucking immature wrestling fan that booked when he was 12 years old and thinks that he can still book, and he can't. I was a better booker when I was fucking 12 and 14 booking matches with my wrestling figures. And he thinks that's what he's still doing. He's booking matches with his wrestling figures, except they're real people because he has all his daddy's money to hire them. You're not a great booker. You're not Triple H. I respect Triple H because he wrestled for over 2 decades. I respect him, and I like him as a booker. I think he's good. Tony Khan, you on the other hand, I don't respect you. That you got your daddy's money, and you never took a bump in your life. And I respect Bischoff because the guy did a lot of good for WCW and wrestling. His ideas and what he came up with. He took Nitro live, week to week. No other wrestling show did that before. He did, Monday Night Raw was live, but not every week. And Bischoff wanted to be live every week. So the spoilers couldn't get out of the taped shows. That was smart as hell to go live for Nitros. He started the NWO storyline and the NWO concept. I don't care if he took it from Japan. Iconic. The NWO, iconic. The letters, NWO, the fucking shirts. NWO, I got like 4 of them. I got 4 NWO different shirts still. And I just bought like 2 of them recently. I got a Wolfpack shirt also. An original NWO shirt. An NWO for Life sweatshirt. NWO for Life t-shirt. I mean, Bischoff created the fucking NWO. It was groundbreaking. It was epic. It changed the business. He deserves credit for that. Tony Khan, I don't give you credit for AEW at all. I don't give you, maybe for starting it with your daddy's money. Because again, I don't think it was your money. I never heard of how Tony Khan made any money in his life. How'd he make his money? I don't think he has. His daddy gave him his money. Maybe he owns that soccer team in the UK. Maybe he bought that team. But it's probably from his daddy's money. And I believe his dad gave him his inheritance to start AEW. So it wasn't his money. And it's not his fault. I'm not bashing him for growing up rich. Good for him. I wish I grew up fucking rich. And my life would have been a lot fucking better. But, anyways, I'm not bashing him. It's not his fault. He grew up rich, but, again, his dad's money started AEW. I give more credit to guys like Cody Rhodes for starting AEW, because without him and the talents, you couldn't it wouldn't have mattered your money or your daddy's money. So Bischoff called Tony Khan a clown with an emoji. Hilarious. Tony Khan calls him a clown with an emoji. And then Tony Khan had to reply and put up a GIF from, I think, the show Dynasty, which I never watched. I was a kid when that was on. But he says, a GIF says, "Get out of here. Get out of my sight, you miserable has-been." Bischoff is not a miserable has-been. The guy did good for wrestling, Tony Khan. The only good you have done is funded AEW to start and pay a whole bunch of wrestlers to have another place to work. That's the good you've done. The not good, tweeting and making yourself look like a fucking immature fool that doesn't have a clue. You didn't think you were going to be attacked for that tweet about Jinder? Of course you will be. So then Bischoff goes on to... This is funny, actually. A fan then posted on Twitter and said Tony forgets he literally gave Abaddon a title shot after being off TV a year. It's the same situation as Jinder. And then Bischoff noticed the tweet, and he replied to ask Tony Khan, "Hey Tony, is this true or is it a bot account?" Because Tony Khan has claimed everybody attacking AEW are all bots, which is not true. There's no way that's true. So, then Tony Khan replies to Bischoff and says, "No, Bischoff, not true at all. Abaddon returned to AEW, then won a four-way match against great wrestlers to earn a title shot, which is completely different." No, it isn't. Not to me. Jinder just returned, asked for a title shot by attacking Seth. That made sense. Seth is pissed. He'll put the title on the line. There. A title match is booked. It's easy to do. Anybody could get a title match that decides to return. It's not a big fucking deal at all. And that is... You can compare the two. Abaddon won a match. So what? She just returned. Winning one match gets you a title shot? That's kind of stupid, I think, but it's his company. That's how he booked it. I don't got a problem with Abaddon getting a title shot, and I don't got a problem with Jinder getting a title shot. Like, what? He's arguing about Abaddon deserved it more than Jinder? How stupid. It's fucking pro wrestling. Anybody can get title shots. It's a fucking entertainment show. So then Tony Khan, Jesus. Then he goes on. So then Bischoff responded and said, "Oh, kid." And because I think Bischoff or Tony Khan said read more or something. Something like that. Bischoff says, "Oh, kid, my reading skills. My reading comprehension skills are wizard-like." By the way, that was one of Dave Meltzer's wicked comebacks. Whenever he get caught out on his BS, and then he says, "Or are you really that deep?" That's pretty funny. And Tony Khan had to insult him before that by saying reading would be your friend, Eric. Again, to me, if I booked wrestling and Jinder just returned, was in the ring with the fucking Rock, and the next week he attacks the world champion, to me that makes sense. He can get a title shot if Rollins wants to fight him and put the title on the line. Anybody fucking returning, you could have them attack your world champion and they could get a title shot the next week. I don't got a problem with that. Like, if the guy is known, a big star, or is known, Jinder is actually at least known. His name, Jinder Mahal, he's known. He's a former world champion, sadly, which I hated when he won the world title, but he is a former world champion. He's been there for well over 10 years. So he's a well-named, known star. Now, to me, he shouldn't be booked ever as a main event star, but he's a star. He's been in the company a long time. He just returned, and so what? He's getting a title shot that he's obviously not going to win. Nor should he. But it upset Tony Khan because of the double standard. Set his fucking snowflake ass, Karen ass, it set him off. So, God, it goes on and on. And then someone tweets. One troll tweet from USA Network sparked mayhem. Yes, it did. Again, Tony Khan, control your fucking immature ass up. Control yourself. You think I get it? I get hate on Twitter sometimes from idiots that have 0 followers or 1 or 5 followers. Especially those jackasses that have no Twitter profile picture. I get hated on sometimes. I don't respond to them. I press mute or block. Because I'm not going to fight with losers that I don't know. So that's... Yeah, other wrestlers chimed in. I believe Dustin Rhodes said quit fighting or something about tribalism between the two companies, fan bases. And I think he said enjoy wrestling or something. But the problem is, when Tony Khan acts a fool with a tweet, I can't control myself. I have to say something about it. And I do on my Twitter, at WWE NXT Guy. And I'm not so biased. Yeah, my Twitter name's at WWE NXT Guy. And I love that Twitter handle. That's why I keep it. But, yes, I'm biased. I love WWE, but I support AEW too. I've ordered a lot of their pay-per-views. A lot of them. I've bought their merchandise. CM Punk shirt, Britt Baker shirt, The Acclaim shirt. Or an Acclaim shirt. So 3 things, 3 merchandise shirts, 3 AEW shirts I've bought. I am not an AEW hater. Tony Khan, man, you're driving me away as a fan to want to watch your company every week because of the stupid shit you do and say. You're immature. You're not a boss. You're going to drive some of your fans away by acting a fucking fool. Stop it already. Just act like a boss, man. Somebody, but he is nobody because he's a fucking rich kid. Spoiled fucking rich kid. Spoiled wrestling owner that thinks he has the right to tweet and do whatever he wants, act a fool however he wants. It doesn't matter how stupid he looks or sounds. Nobody's going to take his phone from him and him to tweet and defend his company. Nobody will take his fucking phone away. They won't. Because the guy's a rich kid. Nobody backstage, definitely in AEW, is going to say, man, stop tweeting, put your phone down. Because why? They're getting paid by him. So they're going to kiss his ass. And his comments, I got to bring this up. This has nothing to do with his tweet, his Twitter outrage at USA Network and the double standard. This has nothing to do with it. Just got to get it off my chest. You said the press scrum after World's End, when you were questioned about did you sign an NDA, or is there any allegations against you for sexual misconduct in the company history, and you didn't answer. Your answer was, we're the safest company in the world, and people have talked to you directly about their problems. They can come to you. We have a disciplinary, what the fuck word did he use? We have a disciplinarian or discipline board which is run by fucking Bryan Danielson, another wrestler. That's a joke that he runs it. He shouldn't run it. Unless he's retired and he's like a fucking retired talent relations. That's the only way he should run a disciplinarian group. Now, as an active wrestler, he shouldn't be fining talents and doing that. But according to Tony Khan, we're the safest company in the world. I put AEW as the best, safest company in the world. Really? After you said you felt scared for your life when CM Punk beat up Jack Perry and allegedly threw a TV at you or a monitor or tried to jump at you. And I don't blame CM Punk for doing that. He's probably fucking trying to get through to you to stop listening to the fucking children, Hangman, and the Bucks. Punk was probably just so goddamn frustrated he wanted to be fired. So I don't blame him for doing that at Tony Khan. I'm not saying it's right to attack your boss, but I don't blame him. He should have just been like, F you, I quit, I'm leaving. But anyways, you said you're the safest company in the world when you felt threatened for your life in your own company about 2 to 3 months ago. Or at the end of August, whenever the Wembley Stadium show was. I think it was August, September. So that's over 3 months ago. You felt threatened for your life, but you have the safest company in the world. Also, you let your wrestlers drink each other's blood, you dumb fuck. Look, the match is insane. It was an insane, crazy, good, hardcore match. But it was stupid to let Hangman drink Swerve's blood. That was stupid and unsafe. I don't care if they were tested before. That shit was too far and unsafe. That is not a safe company. If you're letting your wrestlers drink each other's blood and bash each other over the body with fucking barbed wire chairs all the time. That's not the safest company in the world. Not at all. WWE's a lot safer because they actually stop matches when wrestlers have concussions, and they don't let their wrestlers go fucking ass buck wild with death matches and drinking each other's blood. So you're not the safest company. That's an absolute joke. And Tony Khan, you're a fucking clown. Wearing that fucking fur hat and sunglasses, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. That was absolutely a horrible look. To be wearing a fur hat and sunglasses answering a question about sexual assaults in your company. That was horrible. You couldn't take off sunglasses. You thought you were timeless Tony Khan? You moron. Tony Khan, man, you absolutely infuriate me and piss me off a lot. A lot. And I speak out about that when I'm on my Twitter. About what a clown you are. But I'm grateful you pay wrestlers and there's another big company for them to work at. And that there's competition. I'm grateful for that to you, but get the fuck off social media, you clown. Get the fuck off it. And stop, for the love of God. I have to say this before I go. Stop Tony Khan appearing on AEW TV and talking to the camera with a mic and looking like this when you talk like you have a gun to your head. You absolutely have no personality, no charisma. You should never appear on wrestling AEW TV again. That's how bad you are on camera. You're horrible. You're fucking horrendous at it. At appearing on AEW when you talk. After like Dynamites or before Rampages when I went, he did come on the stage and he thanked all the fans for coming. I don't got a problem with that. That's fine to appear off camera and thank the fans. And say, we had a great show, we're going to come back soon. I got no problem with that, but he should not ever appear on camera. He's worse. He definitely doesn't have the charisma or personality that Vince McMahon did. He could never, ever, ever, ever be a Mr. McMahon character. And that's probably not his personality anyways, but that guy, maybe he could be a heel because he'd be fucking hated and probably booed out of the buildings if he'd try to cut promos in the ring. But seriously, you're horrible on TV as a character trying to speak. You're worse than Jim Crockett Jr. You're worse than Dixie Carter. You're worse than Herb Abrams. You're worse than Jim Herd. That's how bad you are on TV. You're worse than those people I mentioned that ran companies that were just absolutely deer in headlights, had no business running wrestling companies, didn't know jack shit about wrestling companies. Well, Jim Crockett Jr. probably knew a lot more than the others. And I will say Dixie Carter, at least, she kept TNA alive for a long time and paid a lot of wrestlers. But she was a deer in headlights, but at least she paid wrestlers for like well over 10 years. Or I think for 10 years, and then they got rid of her. I don't know how long she lasted, 13 years, 10 years, I don't know. But at least Dixie funded TNA for a long time and paid the wrestlers. That was something good she did. And she did take a Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray super bomb through a table. That was also good that she took that. Tony Khan never, Man, when you appear on TV, it pisses me off because you have no business on television talking. You have no personality, no charisma. You bring nothing to your product. So stop appearing on TV for the love of fucking God. You're horrible at talking on a mic and trying to put over your product. You're horrible at it. Stop it. Hire a legend or somebody as a GM type figurehead for your company to talk. And stop doing interviews on these shows on YouTube. Stop agreeing to interviews when all you say in the interviews is, I can't talk about that. The CM Punk, I'll fight with the Bucks. And how do you feel about CM Punk returning to WWE? He goes, no comment. I can't talk about it. Yeah, and if somebody would ask him, why do you tweet so much and attack other wrestlers like Jinder and other companies? Why do you tweet about them so much? He would probably say, I can't talk about it. Get the fuck off Twitter, Tony Khan. Hope you enjoyed this list video of Tony Khan acting like a fucking fool yesterday on Twitter X.